I'm Derek Joyce and I'm here with Paul Onwurda, and this is I'm Not the Expert, but this is a podcast where we'll discuss everything from the most complex ideas that we know nothing about to the simplest ideas that we probably know nothing about either. So put the kettle on, get comfy and join us.
Okay, now I want to do something a little bit different.
Okie dokie.
Do you want to play a game?
Yeah, that depends. What's the game?
It's
Can I keep my clothes on?
yes, absolutely.
Good,
Yeah.
okay.
No, I was watching The Princess Bride the other night, and I know that's a film you really enjoy. There's a running gag all the way through it where the guy keeps saying inconceivable in the wrong context, and it's Montoya, is it, who says
Inigo Montoya.
Inigo
It's
Montoya.
not the one who says inconceivable.
No, but he says that word you keep using.
No, Fessig is fucking Andre the Joint.
Yeah.
It'll come to me once then.
It's one of them anyway. Says that word you keep using, I don't think it means what you think it means.
Yeah.
And that got me thinking.
Okay.
So I have a list here of commonly misunderstood or misused words. I'm going to throw them at you, right? You're going to tell me what you think it means, and I'm going to tell you what it actually means.
Great. This sounds like I'm going to lose and look like I'm very stupid at the end of all this.
No, I'm sure you'll know most of them.
Okay.
I'm sure you will.
Wow.
So,
set me up for a fall, dude.
Are you ready to play?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Enormity.
The enormity of the situation.
Yeah. Enormity.
The size of the situation.
No.
What?
No, that is the common misconception. You're correct in that. It's got nothing to do with size at all. It's monstrous, evil, excessive, wicked, or outrageous. So the enormity of the situation kind of pertains to the seriousness of it as opposed to the size.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So that's your nil
Zero for one.
Right. Nonplussed.
Nonplussed. Couldn't give a shit.
Yeah,
Nonplussed.
Unaffected or unimpressed.
Yeah.
Again, that is the common.
So again, I'm saying I couldn't give a shit because I'm not winning this.
And you're wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the common misconception, is that it's unaffected or unimpressed. What it actually means is bewildered or extremely puzzled.
Okay.
A bit like you playing this game now.
Yeah. It's not a fun game.
No, come here, listen, I know you're going to get them. I know you're going to get some, right? Bemused. Think about it. Bemused.
Okay. So someone's my muse. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Again, I'm bemused by this fucking game.
Yeah. Give me a bit more. Come on, you're close now. You're close. You are close to this one. I hope you're not Googling there, eh?
No, I'm trying to see who says inconceivable.
I don't mind that. Come on, you're very close.
I draw no inspiration from this whatsoever.
Okay. Well, the common misconception is mildly amused. The actual definition is confused or engrossed in thought.
Okay.
So to be literally like, so enthralled with something that you're completely away with the fairies.
Okay.
So,
All right.
you're
Okay.
enraptured by your muse. You're bemused.
Okay.
Almost like bewitched.
They're fucking weird words.
Yeah.
Like when you break down words
Yeah,
into their constituent parts, it's not that that'll give you the answer because it's obviously
It
not
often
giving me the
does,
answer.
though. It often.
But it just makes words weirder.
I think
That's
it makes
what
them make more sense.
I'm saying in a previous podcast about foreign languages, I think it was Flemish we were talking about, being a really Dutch being a really hard language to learn, like to understand. It depends on what point you're coming from. German's hard to learn if you don't know it.
Yeah.
Russian's hard to learn if you don't know it. Japanese is hard to learn if you don't know it.
English is notoriously difficult.
English is impossible to learn. That's what I'm talking about.
Unless you're a native speaker,
About breaking
it's
words down to the
notorious.
constituent parts to figure out what they mean. Doesn't work with English. English is fucking mad.
Okay, no, I find it helpful.
Okay.
But that's just how my brain works, maybe. Anyway, here's one I'm sure you're going to get this right. Redundant or redundancy.
Redundant, not of any use anymore.
No.
What?
That is the common misconception, useless or unable to perform its function. What it actually means is quite the opposite. It's beyond what is required or necessary.
Okay.
Also, needlessly wordy or repetitive. So, if you think, right, NASA builds massive redundancy into its rockets, right?
So it has use, but only if a certain situation is reached. Yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about your NASA analogy, if it gets to a point where something's not working and a redundant system has to kick in.
Yeah, but no, see, that's a backup. A redundancy is it's already kicked in. They're both running, so you have two systems doing exactly the same thing.
Okay, but only one is needed.
One of them, it only needs one, but you have to. No, it doesn't kick in; it's already running. They're both kind of running simultaneously.
Yeah.
So if one fails, the other one is still running.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. So the backup is where it kicks in. Redundancy is where it's already there.
Doing fucking awful on these. Go.
Okay, right. Plethora.
That's from Three Migos. Did you ever see Three Migos?
I have many, many years ago.
Jeez, me and my brothers knew all the words of Three Migos.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't necessarily know what they mean, and I'll demonstrate that in a second. But yeah, plethora. Tell me, Hefe, what does it mean to have a plethora? Plentiful. Have lots of.
Again, that's the misconception.
Okay. Well, that means I'm as wrong as everybody fucking else.
Exactly.
Go for it.
Come here, listen. Most of these I would have given the very same answers to you, but I haven't got them written down in front of me, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, so it is to have a lot of something, but it's a bit more than that. It's to have a superabundance or a ridiculous excess of something, right? Now, the word itself has evolved from a negative into a positive over time. Okay. So, 100 years ago or something, to have a plethora of something would be seen as wasteful or completely unnecessary or, greed, I suppose.
Yeah, all right.
You were hoarding. That was, to have a plethora of money or whatever, that would be hoarding. Now it has evolved to where it's kind of just having a lot of something.
Okay. So it was very negative.
Right. Yes, it would have been a very negative word to have a plethora of something. It was, a dragon would have a plethora of gold sitting on it. That's, Elon Musk has a plethora of everything.
Billionaires are fucking disgusting. Man.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where it would have been.
Right.
But it has become a more positive word over time. Right? Okay. Now, here's one for you, and I have a little story to go along with this one, and I know you're going to get this one down.
Right.
Don't let me down. Unique.
Unique.
Unique, yeah.
Unique. Again, I don't know how to put these into words. I can put them into sentences.
Okay, go with the most straightforward one you can think of for this, because I'm actually surprised that this is misused so much.
Unique is one of a kind.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's exactly what unique is, right? But I have to throw in a little story here, and it's a bit of a dick move, right? But I took a little bit of joy from this. I seen a post on Facebook in some group, I don't know what it was, and a woman put up, I need a unique baby name for a girl.
Good luck with that.
Right? Unique. And there were hundreds upon hundreds of comments, all with very unusual baby girl names. And my little comment, my little dig, which what you and the majority of people commenting here need is a dictionary to look up the word unique. Which, yes, it means one of a kind. So unless you're calling your baby, I can't even think of a unique.
Well, I can think of a unique word for a child's name, but I can't pronounce it. And I can't even spell it.
Okay.
Elon Musk's kid has a
it's
pretty...
a mathematical formula or something, isn't it?
Fucking clue.
He literally called his child
Yeah,
but that I
looked up, and again, when you break down English words into their constituent parts, I broke this down into its constituent parts.
Okay.
But
as you do when
it broke down into a syllable. Right. Like it did make sense as a stream of syllables, but it's how you get to that point,
Are there not laws against naming your child things like that? I know this country has laws about.
Has it?
Yeah, like you cannot name your child an offensive term.
Oh, well, yeah, that just stands to reason.
Yeah, I know, but there is a law about that. I'm sure there's laws about, well, I don't know about that, but I think on your child a mathematical formula.
Yeah. No.
I don't want to go there. But anyway, yeah, so you got one. You're one for...
At least I'm not fucking... I'm on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you're on the scoreboard. Right, okay, here's another one for you. Fulsome.
Fulsome.
Yeah.
Unctuous. And I'll explain that. Unctuous is my answer.
I don't know what that means.
I
don't know.
I'll tell you what it means.
Yeah.
It means fulsome.
Would you say it's abundant?
Yeah, but unctuous, and I said I'll explain it. I was talking to you about this a couple of weeks ago, and you said fulsome, and I got it wrong.
Yeah.
And I read an article a couple of days later. It was about something that's very relevant and going on the news at the minute, and the reporter had utter disdain for the situation they were referring to.
Okay.
And they used the term unctuous, and I went, I don't fucking know what that means. So I looked it up. And the first word to explain unctuous was fulsome.
Okay,
so
sounds to me, yeah. Okay, so the misconception, the common misconception is abundant or abundant praise.
Yeah.
To really, to fulsomely approve of something. Yeah, that is the misconception, right? The actual meaning of it is to be offensively flattering or insincere. So like a sarcasm, a slow clap.
Yeah.
That kind of, that's what, that's what.
Like
so,
the team scored, the supporters. No, that's kind of irony, isn't it? You're
kind of getting there where like a referee is giving you nothing all day.
Yeah,
and you get a free kick from him, and everyone cheers.
You get that. Yeah,
that's fulsome praise. That is fulsome praise for referee. Yes, it's not taking the piss. Yeah,
and taking it as a win.
Yeah, no, absolutely, you got that one right. And here's a very similar sounding word.
Okay.
Not necessarily the same. Noisome.
Nois.
Yeah. Noise. Well, noisome. Yes. Noisome, as in reference to noise. Yeah.
Offensive.
Yes. Go on.
Disgustingly offensive.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like the misconception, is just that it's plain loud or noisy.
Yeah.
Which is not. That's noisy or loud. Noisome is obnoxious or harmful or offensive to the senses.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Well done.
So,
you're on a roll here, then.
So, it doesn't have to make sound to be noisome.
No, it says here to the senses, so not.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to make sound to be noisome.
It could be really fucking disgusting tasting.
Or smell, or yeah.
Or like I would say, I was at a Texas
or looking.
gig. Or looking, yeah. That's
the eye
of the beholder.
No, well, noisome doesn't have to make a sound.
Yeah.
And is a really offensive.
Yeah. I'll give an example of what I think might be quite good with not necessarily a sound, but it is sound orientated. I was at a Texas gig last week, right? That's
noisome.
No, it was fantastic. One of the best gigs I've ever been.
Not into.
But the support act were the guys that represented us in the Eurovision last year. Something new.
I haven't a fucking clue.
Come here, no, listen, they were very good at what they did. It wasn't my taste at all. But their subwoofers were ridiculous, right? And they're not like a mad loud type of band. They're I don't know what you'd call them, pop rock, but I don't know what way their bass was, because you could feel the subwoofer.
Yeah, no, I don't like
your
that.
Your whole body vibrating, and it was like really uncomfortable for the whole of their set. Like, and then Texas come on and they had sorted out, or wherever they just had a different setup. But couldn't enjoy the music because you were just literally, your whole body was vibrating uncomfortably. And that's, I would call that noisome.
And it made sound.
And it would, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't necessarily the ears, it was the feel.
No, it was just the senses.
Hit by that.
Offensive to the senses.
Yeah.
There you go.
It completely was. And to continue with the music theme, ironic.
Fucking hell.
Now, that's a
okay.
Now, I hope you fare better than Alanis Morissette.
Yeah. Isn't that ironic?
No.
Okay.
ironic is, I'll give you an example in a sentence,
Okay,
but
I'll take that.
it's like it's conflicting. Right, okay. It was really ironic, and this is a hypothetical situation. It was really ironic that the politician called for the executive board of a company to have to declare all of their outside interests, especially since he hadn't declared them himself.
That's hypocrisy, I would have said. But yeah,
That's
there is a
ironic.
certain irony there as well, right? But anyway, to use the Alanis Morissette measure, shall we say, right? Yeah, you're pretty much right about what, that's irony. What is not ironic is the song Ironic.
Yeah.
Right? So I just want to break down line by line here, right?
Okay, before you do, the only ironic thing about that song is that you call it ironic.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what you meant.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Right? But anyway, let's go line for line. Let's do why that song is not ironic and why
I'm not singing it.
No. Right. A no smoking sign on your cigarette break. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That would only be ironic if there's no irony. It's just unfortunate.
I've nothing to input other than it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Right. So then there's a traffic jam when you're already late. Again, that's unfortunate. It would be ironic if you were a town planner on your way to an event announcing that you had solved the town's traffic problem.
Yeah, you've got to give a tip of the cap to
Ed Bourne, who I'm ripping this completely straight from. Yeah. Rain on your wedding day. Right? It would be ironic if you were marrying a weatherman who had
or
said
if you
it was
were
going
both
to be
weather
sunny.
people.
Yeah, and who said it was going to be sunny. That would be ironic. 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife.
What you need is a Swiss Army knife.
Or it's not ironic unless later on you discover that actually a spoon would have done the job that you needed the knife for. That would be ironic.
Right.
What's the other?
Don't fucking ask me.
Anyway, I think we've got it. I think we've made our point,
Yeah.
Del. Yes, Alanis, none of those things are ironic, and yes, Del does know what irony is.
Del got it right.
Del got it right. Alanis Morissette got it wrong on several
Multiple
occasions in one song.
Yeah.
Okay. Literally.
Oh, we're not finished?
No.
Okay, literally. I don't know. I can't find the word right. No, go on, tell me the answer.
Okay, the commonly misused or misconception is that it's used as an intensifier or an emphasis or a synonym for really or very often, used in place of figurative. So, like that was like, oh man, I literally couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard.
Okay.
No, you're still alive, you could breathe. So that's, that's not using it correctly. Yeah. So what it actually means is word for word or verbatim or identical.
Yeah.
Literally. Like that is literally a microphone in front of me.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's that one, right? Now here, I love this one. Cracking me knuckles here in battle. Irregardless.
That's the most offensive word I've ever heard. There's no such word as irregardless.
Yes, you didn't let me down. I'm sorry for shouting out and deafening anyone there. You didn't let me down. The word doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the English language.
And I hear so many people use it.
I hear prominent politicians use it at all. Come here.
Irregardless of what you say.
Yeah,
that's all I hear, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
There's no air.
And you know what? It's when someone says irregardless. It's like fucking. It's like saying, I wish they'd follow up with irregardless. That's a mute point. People saying mute point.
Mute.
Fucks me off, man.
Mute. M-O-O-T.
Yeah.
Yes.
M-O-O-T. Stop
good.
saying mute.
Right.
Mute swans.
Mute swans?
Mute swans they're called mute swans. M-U-T-E swans. Mute swans, but moot point.
Yes, moot point. Yes. Yeah. Now, supposedly,
I've never heard of it.
It's supposedly not a word at all. But again, is in common usage a lot of the time. You've never heard someone say
I don't
supposedly?
think I've ever. And if I initially thought you said, I initially thought you said supposedly,
That is
which
the
is
word.
why I asked twice.
That is the word.
But
I've seen
I've
people
never heard someone say
online,
supposedly.
and look at everybody has different levels of literacy. Everyone has had different opportunities in life. I'm not making fun of people who misspell stuff, but I've seen learned, educated people use supposedly in documents online. It's ridiculous. It's not a word.
It's nearly as annoying as people saying like.
Yeah. Now,
which I do quite a bit, but
I know what I mean. Like,
no, it's like when I was thinking like but it's the people, and it's usually a younger generation than mine.
I'm just going to say that it's just me trolled that.
When you're out and you hear someone talking and they're like, so I was like saying that, then if you're going to do that, like, then and it's like is every second fucking word.
Yeah, but come here, that's a thing that's relatively new. I say relatively new, last 20 years in Dublin. That's been a Cork thing forever. That is just part of the Cork vernacular.
No, their context in which they use it is not the same as what I'm referring to.
Possibly, yeah, okay, fair enough.
So when you say it in Cork, and I have absolutely no problem with that, I understand that it's part of your vernacular.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm saying. Or part of your vocabulary.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm saying when it's used and you see kids just like.
Yeah. And it's
just
usually like spelled L-O-I-K, like, you know what I mean? Like. Yeah.
No, not that at all, because I'm thinking of who is the guy that was in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Chris Pine?
It's not, it's Pratt. Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
no, that's good. I couldn't remember his name.
I always mix those up.
Well, he was on the Graham Norton show, and his wife loves the Essex Way or whatever.
Right, yeah, one of those reality TV shit shows.
Yeah, and he was saying...
The only way is Essex.
The only way is Essex. And he was saying, so he practiced doing an impression of it for his wife. And he did an impression and it sounded excellent. He's a great actor and he had it nailed, but it was and like this, like that. But it wasn't L-O-I-K snobby. It was fucking like is used in the wrong context, not in the Cork vernacular. That's not what I'm referring to. It's used in constantly the wrong context. It's a fucking simile, people.
I would have said it's used by Cork people in that incorrect. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, Cork people. I cannot refer to race, culture,
without doing
county, without putting on the bloody accent.
Without putting on a shite accent.
I know, yeah. It's something I really need to work on. But do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But that's
I tried to say that in my own accent.
I'm not complaining about that.
That's insane. I can't do that.
I understand that if that's what you say, but I'm talking about the people who excessively use
use it in every
second or third word.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times in a sentence. Man. Yeah. No, absolutely. And there's several TV presenters who are absolutely horrendous at it, and it wrecks my head. I'm probably thinking League of Ireland football here.
I have no idea. I don't watch it.
Like, if you're watching LOI TV, listen, don't get me wrong, it's a great service. It's great that we can watch League of Ireland football now. Every game is on. But it's amateur commentators, it's like individual clubs.
You just said like.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
The individual clubs provide the commentators, so they're not professional broadcasters, in fairness, right? And you get all the time on it. It's just like, you know? But anyway, I digress. I'm going to switch up a little bit now. Right? I'm going to give you 2 words, very similar sounding, and tell me what is the difference between them.
Right, we'll give it a go.
Okay, so adverse versus averse.
Averse. I've got a story with this as well.
Okay.
Adverse is, I was being interviewed for an article years ago, like 2011 or something like that.
In college?
In college.
I remember that.
And this reporter rang me up and he was put on to me by the admissions office because he was looking to talk to somebody who was a mature student.
Yeah.
And he was saying to me, so where is this?
I actually told that.
Where is this going to get you? What is it you're going to learn from this? What qualification do you want to use? And how are you going to use it? And I said, well, I worked in media for the past 20 years. I'm an animator. And I said, this is another string to my bow. And this is a route for me into live action, where I'm going to be competent enough to be able to step up and work in live action as opposed to having been in the animation industry.
Yeah.
And he said, and will you do that in Ireland? He said, I'm not averse to having to go away if I have to go away again, because I've travelled the world. And he said, okay, fantastic. Okay, that's everything. We wound up the interview. The article came out a week later, and I read the article, and it said, quote me, I wouldn't be adverse having to go away again if I had to leave the country. Fucking adverse, A-D-V-E-R.
Yeah, and you had said averse.
Adverse.
Yes, and that is the correct use.
And I was like,
yes.
Jesus Christ, lad.
Yeah, so adverse is something that's unfavourable. So like we have adverse weather conditions outside today. Averse is a feeling of dislike.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Excellent.
I was
really good.
adverse to that fucker for using what I said in the wrong context.
Exactly.
You're a journalist, man. You're supposed to know English.
Yeah. Now this one came as a bit of a surprise.
Right.
That anybody would confuse these two words. I'm sorry. Right?
Okay. But, bet you I confuse them.
Right. But the premise of the article that I read for this is that apparently people mix up premise and premises. People think that premises is the plural of premise.
Wow.
Which is like,
Wow.
wow. So tell us why that's a wow now.
Premise is an idea.
Yeah, it's
premises is
it's an assumption. It's an assumption.
Yeah. How many premises do you own? I don't. I only own one premise. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Premise is an assumption. Premises or premises is a building and its surrounding lands.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know. I just took it to be a place of business.
Okay.
That's what I thought premises was. But no, it's actually a building.
Well, as long as you didn't think the singular was just premise.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
One business. Right, and now this one drives me mad. I see this on social media all the time. It's not something that necessarily is verbal, but in the written word, particularly in the social media sphere, where you're typing pretty quickly as well. You know. Anyway,
You diverse.
I do diverse. Affect.
Let's digress.
I digress. Yes. Shit. Right. Affect versus effect.
Okay.
So, how about it?
Okay. When something influences something else, it affects it. Affects it. What that something's influence is the effect.
Yes, that's pretty much what I've written down here, because like you, I was kind of struggling to explain it. So I just use an example.
I didn't think I was struggling there.
No, on some of the words earlier I'm talking about.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Yeah. So I decided that I would do a really clever way of, So something that has an affect will affect the outcome of something.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, very clever writing there, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I'd have defined what the something is.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'd have said, rather than say something, I would have said.
Yeah,
I'd have picked.
I couldn't think of an example.
Okay.
Now this one I love. And I think this will trip you up, Dad. I do. I think this will trip you out, and it'll trip up most people. Right? And this is another one that I've seen politicians use and cringe every time I see it. Irreverent versus irrelevant.
Okay, irreverent is not taking yourself too seriously. Because my dad always told me, Jesus, you've got such an irreverent sense of humour.
Yeah.
And when you go to America, because
it's not
that's when I was going when I was 20, he said, watch that sense of humour, because they don't really understand irreverent humour. So it's not taking yourself too seriously.
It's not taking anything.
Yeah.
Seriously,
that was his context.
Yes, absolutely bang on.
Yeah.
And irrelevant then is
it's superfluous.
It's not pertinent.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So I think you done quite well there now.
Good.
I hope that
start slow.
Yeah, and I hope we've done our little bit to improve the grammar of certain social media posts, because I am a bit of a stickler.
And we haven't got long enough to go into it, but learn to use your fucking apostrophes, people.
Oh, that's a whole other podcast, and that's, believe me.
Yeah, I'm nasty.
I'm actually going to give a shout out here to a Facebook group called the Irish Apostrophe Preservation Society, which is a hilarious Facebook group. Now, it's very much tongue in cheek, but there's some hilarious grammar faux pas, shall we say. Always worth a good giggle. But so thanks for that, Dale. I really enjoyed that.
Thanks for fucking making me look like an idiot.
Put you in the hot seat. No, you did not look like an idiot. Believe me. You were in the hot seat. You coped very well with it, so well done.